Hi, I'm Jarrett from Stone Soup Farm, and this is how to harvest and store rosemary. Rosemary is a lovely little plant. It's sort of a woody shrub, and it's a perennial in some places, but in the north it can't really survive the very cold of the winter. So it's often grown indoors like a houseplant, and you can bring it outside during the summer, and in the spring and in the fall it can do fine outside too. Rosemary is relatively woody on its stems, and so I use clippers to harvest because it can be relatively tough to get just with your fingernails. And you can harvest quite a bit of the plant itself for your spice, but it's good not to harvest all of it. I usually try to do about half of it so that half of the foliage remains and can continue to gather sunlight and grow as a plant so that it can repopulate itself. If you harvest it too far down, then you're likely putting the plant back too much and it won't have the means to grow big and fluffy again very quickly. Once you have the rosemary sprigs, you can use them fresh. They're very intense fresh and probably better dried or stored in some way. The easiest way to dry them is just to bundle them and hang them somewhere, preferably in a warm or cool but dry place like an attic. Once they are dry, you should be able to take the leaves off from the stems and crumble the leaves, and you can put those in a little spice jar or something like you would find at a store. Otherwise, you could freeze them. If you do that, I would pluck off all the leaves and put them in a Ziploc bag or something and toss them in the freezer. Or you could put them into a food that you're going to can or freeze and cook them in originally and then do that. So I'm Jarrett from Stone Soup Farm, and that's how to harvest and store rosemary.